Welcome to another episode of Inside with Outsiders, and today we have a very special guest, Sharon NG, who we met recently. Sharon, thanks for joining.
Happy to be here.
I like how you approach the mic like that. Happy to
How
be
close
here.
do I need to be?
You can speak directly into the mic. Yeah. By the way, I want to shout out our producer, director, Bams, who you might hear on the show. He's not on the screen, but that's the voice from God. Appreciate you. Oh, I just heard a beer crack, and on that note, I think I usually wait a little bit to pop this, but I'm thirsty, and this looks very icy. So, are you cool with popping a beer? Did you
Yeah,
open
let's
yours
do
already?
it.
All right, cool.
Well, I'm not waiting to pop a beer. This is my first beer of the day, so.
I don't believe you, but cheers to you too. Cheers, Sharon.
Cheers.
So, we met Sharon through two mutual friends. One of the Outsiders family / staff, Darshan, who is our director of partnerships. And also, prior to that, we referred to you by Kira from what's the Peloton. Yes,
Oh,
Kira
Jeremy.
Michelle from Peloton, the little company named Peloton. You are a yogi, right, or yogini? Is it, which one is it?
Yogi works.
You're a yogi,
Yogi.
and we met like 3 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago for our camping weekend, and you came highly recommended. And sometimes I'm nervous when we have these sort of outings and the first time I meet someone, because you never know if their energy is going to mesh with the crowd or with yours for that matter. But I'm happy you came on the trip because it was seamless, and everyone loved your yoga. It was only you did breath work, meditation, yoga, and Saturday morning, and everyone was a little too hungover on Sunday to do it, but you did a great job. Tell me about you first off. Like, where are you from?
I'm from upstate New York, capital, Albany.
Albany.
We call it Smallbany.
Why? Why? Because it's a small city.
It's small, yeah, in the grand scheme of things, yeah.
So, isn't Albany known for being a little rough?
It is.
Like it's kind of like the hood in a sense, right?
I guess so.
I'm assuming there's different sides of Albany.
There are. So I'm not from Albany, but I say that as like get your bearings, right? I'm from Schenectady, Rotterdam.
Gotcha.
So about 25, 30 minutes from Albany.
Where's the town that has like the natural sparkling spring water there? Saratoga. That's right. I've never been there, but
Saratoga is beautiful. You guys should all go and get Saratoga sparkling water.
yes, I think that'd be a good outsider's trip.
It would be actually.
So what was it like growing up in Albany, and did you spend like your entire childhood and years growing up there?
Yeah, I grew up there, and it was super suburbia. So I feel like now living here and traveling, I've traveled all over the world. It's been really nice to see how far I've come from where I came from.
Right. I mean, it's the capital of New York State, but it's a small town. I mean, a small city, I should say.
Yeah.
And where you're from is even smaller.
Absolutely.
So it's impressive because I know what really stands out to me about what you've built for yourself are these retreats. You're doing global retreats, right? And congratulations, you just recently sold out your next retreat, right?
Yeah, Nicaragua in November. International retreat, first really big retreat since COVID times.
Congrats.
So it's pretty huge, and I'm really excited. I'm a little nervous because it is international, and that doesn't just entail a car, it entails a flight.
Right.
So
a lot of logistics.
that complicates things logistically for sure. So fingers crossed.
This isn't your
Apologies.
first international retreat, is it?
No.
Okay.
In fact, I guess we can have a little segue. Fun fact on me when we talk a little bit more about what I do
We
and
love
my
fun
business.
facts. Yes.
My dream was always to lead yoga retreats, and so I made that dream a reality. And the first retreat that I ever led, I used to live in the Virgin Islands in St. John in the Caribbean.
Nice.
Yes, I agree. And
So wait, I want you to continue your story, but I do want to know how you ended up there from Albany, but go up from Saratoga.
yeah. Okay, so yes, when I decided I wanted to lead retreats, I think that there was a big piece of inspiration from living in the Virgin Islands and that nomadic lifestyle, and that's like what planted the seed for me. So at this point in time, from living in the Virgin Islands, I was living in New York City. And so I said, I want to lead a yoga retreat. And the first retreat I ever did was in the Virgin Islands. I was like, let me go back to like
Makes
that home
sense.
base.
Yeah.
But it was also a really hard first retreat to do. You know, you would think your first retreat might be like an hour away, Catskills.
Right, because the travel aspect makes things so much more complicated. There's so
Yeah.
much more that can go wrong.
Absolutely.
So you were pretty adventurous in making that your first one. Why did you
Yeah.
decide to do that as a first one as opposed to doing like Albany?
Yeah, I don't know. I am a person that when I dream big. When I do, I do.
Right.
And when I say I'm going to do something, like, yeah, there's a lot of passion to it. So I decided I wanted to do it, and I did it.
Which is really necessary as an entrepreneur. I mean, you have to have that passion and that execution. You can't wait for the right moment because it never comes. You have to make that moment. So
I agree.
it's a good thing that you have that mind state for sure.
Yeah.
Now, let's backtrack a little bit though, because we jumped from you being in upstate New York to like all of a sudden putting on retreats. What was it like growing up, high school? When did you know you wanted to be a yoga instructor? Did you know that from the beginning? Was that your dream as a child? Like what did you want to do when you were growing up?
Yeah, great questions. It's kind of nice to reflect back and also challenging to think about. I feel like, you know, I just kind of was cruising through life. I don't know, in high school and in college. I went to a local community college, and in college.
What school did you go to?
In school, college.
What college? Yeah.
Schenectady Community College, SUNY Delhi.
Okay. Shout out to SUNY schools. For sure. I went to CUNY, but
Okay.
shout out to SUNY. Yeah. Why are you laughing? Jeez, I thought
It
judge
sounds
right
like you're
there.
trying to do like a rivalry. Shout out to CUNY.
No, but they're part of
SUNY,
this.
CUNY.
It's kind of like part of each other's systems in a sense, where SUNY's a state and CUNY's a city, obviously, but whatever. Anyways,
We digress. Okay, so yes, I feel like I was just kind of living my adolescence life. There was no major dream, desire, you know, there wasn't something deeply rooted in me at a young age where I knew I wanted to do what I wanted to do.
you didn't have any like for me, I had the dream of like being in the NBA. Now I knew I was striving to. I played college ball, but that wasn't like I have to make the NBA, otherwise I'm crushed. It was a dream of mine. Do you have anything like that?
No, I don't think so. I feel like a lot came a bit later when I became more of an adult. I feel like I had some like struggles growing up, not struggles, but just things that happen.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it took a little bit longer for me to just
Would you
get on
want to
my path.
elaborate on those struggles? Are you okay with talking about that on camera?
Yeah, I'm totally okay.
Okay.
I guess I just, you know, my parents are divorced, and that influenced me a lot. And
In what way? I'm digging
in
here.
every way. I know. Usually I do the digging.
I see. I'm not gonna let you interview me on my show.
Yeah, I think it definitely had an impact on me, and
Well, obviously, it's gonna impact you. But like, how did it impact your decision making? Like, did it kind of skew your perspective into going into wellness, for example? Like, how did their divorce change you and shape you as an adult?
I think there are more specific things that occurred that affected me, and it actually made me want to become just more. And becoming more actually as a yoga instructor is not the path that you actually want to take, which is something to say. Me wanting to become more than what I had growing up and be more than what I saw and evolve beyond.
Was that because you felt? Where was that motivation from? Was that from proving others wrong, or to prove others wrong, or was that because you had such great dreams that you wanted to achieve those dreams because you're motivated internally?
I think sort of both. I think at first it could have started from trying to prove others wrong, or just prove that I could be whatever
Right.
I wanted to be.
Yeah.
And also, I didn't grow up in a super rigid family. In fact, I wish there was more rigidity. Is that the right word? I wish there was more structure. I wish there was more discipline.
Really?
But it gave me this freedom.
That's interesting coming from a yogi wanting more structure, because, you know, feeling that freedom, that flow is generally what yoga instructors' lifestyles are like, right? It's not so structured and rigid, to a certain extent, of course, but that you crave that more. Do you set that up for yourself now as an adult?
I mean, I think a part of being an entrepreneur is in a part needing to have a bit of that, right?
I mean, not a part, it's a huge part of that.
I think that's actually what can set successful entrepreneurs apart from others, maybe, is that piece. Because whenever we go into something that we love, it's because we love it. But the thing that we love isn't running the business side, perhaps. It's the creative aspect.
Right. You have to kind of love the business side because it facilitates the creative side, right? It gets you paid.
Yes.
When did you realize you wanted to be a yoga instructor?
When I was living in the Virgin Islands, I went through a point in my life where I was kind of, I don't know, I was discovering myself.
So how did you let's backtrack again. From upstate New York, was your next destination the Virgin Islands?
Yes.
Why?
It was in part me trying to find myself. I was dating a person back then, and we decided to move there together.
Okay.
And that was the journey that took me there. And then
what were you doing for yourself work-wise then?
Yeah, when I first moved there, I was working in restaurants. I worked in this one restaurant, and I was a waitress.
Sorry, I don't mean to question. What were you doing you went from Albany there, so what were you doing in Albany for work before you went there?
So when I was in Albany, I was just finishing college.
Okay, gotcha.
So I kind of had always been in the restaurant industry. When I moved to the Virgin Islands, I was also working in the restaurant industry.
Restaurant industry will teach you how to hustle.
100%. I was the number one salesperson.
I think anybody who's going to run their own business should be forced to work in a restaurant business and understand the hustle. Understand what it's like to work your way up.
Yeah, totally. And I think I very much so did that. And I mean, it definitely showed me the hustle, and I'm a hustler, and I feel like, you know, I definitely need the chill in my life, which is where yoga comes in. Mm-hmm. But that's what got my foot in the door when I lived in the Virgin Islands. And then I started to actually live there half of the year. And then I would come home for half of the year. Literally, like what people do when they retire, I decided to do.
Was it a
snowbird?
Snowbird, yeah. It was a snow bunny, snowbird,
yeah.
Sorry.
I was like, I don't need a snow bunny. Yes, for me, it was a snow bunny.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't need to wait till I retire. People do it backwards, right?
It's funny. That is an interesting perspective, because why wait? You always wait. Prolong the happiness in order to make sure you get it. You have to work now and suffer, and don't be happy now so you can be happy later. But sometimes it's too late, and sometimes you don't get that later. So you got to have a balance, and I think obviously yoga is all about that as well. So did you learn that? You obviously learned it before you got into yoga, which probably inspired you to get into yoga. Is that what it was?
I think just going through like some personal hard times with my personal self, just trying to figure out like, what is my path? What am I doing? Who am I? Right? That's a big question. If I ask you like, who are you? Right? It's scary.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think also what you do for a living is a huge part of your identity.
Yeah, for sure. And at that point in my life, I just started showing up and doing my own self-practice or following people on the interwebs. I had certain people that I would follow on the interwebs. Because living in the Virgin Islands, you don't have that many yoga studios, things like that. But I would get on my mat every day, and that was the most consistent I've ever been in my life. And it changed me.
So you found have you read The Alchemist?
Yes.
You found your personal legend.
Yeah.
Right? So you find yoga, and it puts you on the right path, right? How long are you in the Virgin Islands before you make your move?
In the Virgin Islands, on and off, right? Like 6 months on, 6 months off. Not that long, like 3 years, 2.5, 3 years.
You were Virgin Islands and New York City, or Virgin Islands and Albany?
Virgin Islands and Albany, Virgin Islands and Block Island, Rhode Island. Do you know it?
Funny enough, we were talking about it today.
Oh.
Our photographer that's shooting our canyoneering adventure tomorrow, he's from Block Island. Like he
Is
grew
his
up
name
there.
Ross?
No, Tim.
Oh, okay. Tim what?
Buell.
Oh. It's
Tim
a
is
small
like this-
island, so I probably
he's like
know.
this extreme sports dude who's also a great photographer. So like when I thought of the canyoneering adventure, when you're rappelling down waterfalls, he's the best one. But he's from Block Island. He's told me it's like when he grew up, 850 people, population of 850, and then it's their entire economy is run by the summer season.
Totally.
And I told him, like, growing up there must have been really interesting because it's all about, summer flings. And then
Right.
then when summer ends, it's nobody's there. So you were in Block Island?
Yeah, so I had met a good friend who does photography, who I thought might be the connection. His name is Ross. His family and him now own businesses there, own restaurants, and have passed it down to their children, their sons. And so I decided, I want to live this nomadic lifestyle. So when I left the Virgin Islands, I went to Block Island for the summer, and I lived there for the summer. During the busy season, I kind of chased the busy seasons and also summer and ocean and water and islands.
Okay.
So there was a common theme
Yes.
that I was drawn to for sure.
Yes.
Yeah. And then I went back to St. John, and then I went to Saratoga Springs for the track season. And then I did St. John one more time, and then I said, I'm ready. I'm ready to move on. This island's small. Love it. It is helped me so much, but I'm ready. So I did some traveling. I actually went to Italy and got my yoga certification and did an intensive.
Why Italy for yoga certification?
My background.
Okay. But I mean, like, others do, like, Bali.
I know.
Or India.
I don't know. I wanted to go to
Your background is Italian?
Italian and a mix of
Okay.
a few different things. So, Italy just was a place that I've always wanted to go to, and is definitely not the most common spot for yoga.
Right.
But
if you can have yoga and great Italian food, why
yes,
not?
it was a win-win.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that happened. And then I decided to move, and New York City is where I landed. I was almost going to move to Hawaii, but I didn't know anybody there, so I did not.
Shouldn't stop you, but glad
I
you're
know.
here, of course.
I need like one person in each place to move, and then I feel comfortable.
I agree. What year was this that you moved to New York? How long ago, I should say?
Yeah. How long? 5 years?
5 years ago.
I told myself 2. I said, I will be here for 2 years, and then I'm moving. I said, I'm going to move here. There's a ton of opportunity.
Yeah.
And let me tap into that. And, but
you
I
found
can't
your
be here for
footing.
long.
Do you have the itch to leave now?
Yes and no.
I just want to let everyone know her husband's in the audience. So
AKA the anchor keeping me in the city.
Exactly.
My husband.
I guess the question
Things
is that a conversation between the two of you? Is that something you've been having as far as you wanting to move because you have this nomadic spirit? But I mean, then there's also the question, and sorry, brother, but you guys want to have a family, right?
Yeah.
I'm assuming. So you can't be nomadic if you're going to have a family.
I know.
So what are you going to do?
Well, you can. You can do whatever you want.
You can, but I mean,
yes.
kids need roots, right?
For sure.
Especially when school happens. So
Yeah.
what are you going to do?
Lots of thoughts there, but
You're welcome, by the way. I got you. My pleasure.
yeah, that has definitely kept me on this path longer, which is definitely not a bad thing. In fact, as you journey through life, right, I see how my path was wanting to explore, which is beautiful, but also struggling to stay.
I'm going to interject and say, I think what you're doing with your yoga and your travel retreats is going to keep you feeling that freedom of traveling while still having your roots here. So I think you're on the right path. I think New York as your home is obviously the greatest city in the world, in my opinion, and others have said it who aren't even from here. So, but the fact that you can keep this, my goal would be keep New York as a home base and be able to travel when I want to, when I need to, and fulfill that urge to fly, basically. Yeah. So that's your goal? You're living the dream right now. I mean,
yeah. So I think that's the ultimate, is probably come here in New Jersey and get a home, that's in the near future. So we're close by, but a little bit out of the city. And then get to a point with the retreats where even just recently I'm thinking, even if we were to have kids, it'd be really cool to be able to travel or to be away for the winter for 1 or 2 months and just lead continual retreats, or one retreat, have a week off, do another retreat, and then get away for the winter, which I hate, and then bring our kids at one point in time, and then be home for the rest of the year, and maybe go work out.
Well, we had a good conversation on the camping weekend on the hike about your next move. I asked you, what's your goal with the business, right? And you told me, figure out a way to scale, but like you can't scale if you're teaching all the yoga yourself, right? So we spoke a lot of it. We still have another conversation to have, but what is your goal with this beyond? I mean, you can't be teaching yoga all the time, but you want to grow your business. What's your plan?
Great question. I mean, my mission is to help primarily women, as many women as possible, help touch their lives, help improve their lives, hopefully help transform their lives. And I think the goal is to host retreats that are helping as many people as possible.
Okay. Challenge is you can't do that alone.
Yes.
So you're going to start having to get some staff together, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what that looks like yet. I think that is definitely something to think about, and where I might need some help.
I'm always happy to help. I'm not the expert, but I have some ideas, especially in regards to like scaling outsiders. Obviously, it's a slightly different business model, but I think you can do this. I mean, I know you can do it. Just have to figure out how you're gonna make money without having to be the one to always teach. You know?
Right.
And I'm sure there's people out there that have done that. I mean, you yourself, you're the brand, but you don't necessarily like Lucille Roberts.
Right.
Lucille Roberts, that gym. No one named Lucille Roberts training anybody right now. You know?
Yeah.
So you got to be that person.
Well, that's what I hope that I can be, and create my own, my own thing, and then have that replicated.
Well, on another note, we wanted to also know you outside your professional life. So what is it you do for fun when you're not teaching yoga, when you're not traveling, and we're not spending time with your lovely husband?
Well, traveling is one of the things. That is the thing I love most, is to travel. Mm-hmm. I want to see as much of the world as possible. I enjoy nature, being outside, being active. I'm very active. I think what kind of separates me as a yoga instructor is that I'm really into all the other things of wellness. So I'm really huge into strength training, and I enjoy that. And I'm into running, running 2 marathons this fall. Not that I love running that much, but but married into it.
Oh, gotcha.
He's a running coach, my husband. So
okay. So you,
but it's cool because I'm actually good at it too.
Okay. What's your marathon time?
3 hours and 24 minutes, Boston Marathon.
That's impressive, right? 3:20 is.
Let me clarify.
Yes.
Okay, so she ran her first marathon at 3:26. Boston qualified. This is like unheard of, right? Like people don't.
Yeah. Can we hear him, by the way? Come close. Talk on the mic.
Yeah. People don't typically just walk into their debut marathon and Boston qualify. But not only did she do that, she showed up in Boston, climbed Heartbreak Hill, and got another personal best by 4 minutes, I believe. You ran a 3:22 in Boston.
So what you're saying is that she's modest and not telling us the truth. She's amazing.
She is lying.
I did come in fourth, and I came in 4th place at the first marathon for women.
You came in 4th place,
but it wasn't like huge. I feel really proud saying that.
How many people?
Amazing.
Was there 4 people? I mean, no.
No, it was about 400 people.
Oh, she came in 4th out of 400.
Yeah,
that's impressive.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you have another career path too.
No, but we'll keep it the yoga.
Gotcha. So you mentioned being outside active. You were a great addition to the Outsiders, and hopefully we'll see you again, and hopefully in the fall for the camping weekend. Yeah. And my question to you, what's your favorite part of the Outsiders?
Oh, I really love that experience. I thank you for having me. I'm so grateful I could be a part of it. I'm grateful that good people attract good people.
Agreed.
And I agree. I felt like it flowed really well, and you guys did great.
Thank you. Thank
I
you,
think-
Darshan, as well, who's your friend who we met through. Thank you for that. But yeah,
I think that my favorite part was the people. Yeah, like just the coming together,
Yeah.
meeting new people. Actually, I feel like I need more of that in my life because I'm always hosting and doing that, just like
Yeah.
you do. And I saw, how nice it was for me to, although I was leading yoga and meditation, it was nice to just like relax and.
I mean, you were predominantly a participant. You
Yes.
hosted the morning hike, and you did help out with other stuff as well. But you got to participate, so I'm glad you enjoyed it. And
Yeah.
you said like the people was the important part. For me, that's the same thing. I've said this a number of times. Like, I've never been the granola super outdoorsy. Let's go on a hike on a weekend. Like prior to doing this, but. I was asked, what is my passion behind Outsiders? Because a friend of mine, actually a cousin, was asking me, like, I know you're not an avid outdoorsman. I know you're not. And I was like, well, I like this stuff. Like, yeah, but what's your passion? And I realized it's the community. The same reason why I was doing nightclubs for so long. I guess it wasn't the nightclubs I loved. I mean, not after my 20s. It was the people.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like the fact that that's what you like as well.
Yeah. I feel like, and also in business, that's what I'm trying to do too with the retreats is bring together community. So that's super important for sure.
Especially these times, especially coming out of a pandemic.
Yeah.
What did you study in school? I forgot to ask you that.
Business and technology. I suck at technology, but business, here I am.
It's a great background to have with technology as well, but you need to improve those skills, I guess. But no, business is great. I wish if I could go back and study. I studied media studies, communications. But if I were to go back, I'd study entrepreneurship for sure. What are your goals and dreams? Like, I think I kind of asked you that, but yeah, I guess what are your goals and dreams, and what does success mean to you?
Okay, goals and dreams. I think that goals and dreams are to live a healthy, happy life and not feel like I need so much out of it, right? For me, it's not about materialism. It's about memories and experiences. Have grow a family of some extent. I don't know what that looks like.
Kai, get to it.
I don't know. There's no rush, thankfully. I feel grateful. Have a house, but also have a second home, maybe in Bali.
Okay.
And just again help as many people as I possibly can, women especially, and show them, to show up for themselves and how to step into their best version of themselves and to get out of their own way, because I learned that I did that for myself and it made me who I am, and I know so many people struggle with that, so that's a goal that I want to have an impact on others.
Yeah, it's great to take from your experiences and what you struggled with and be able to help people based on how you've escaped or made it through these struggles,
Yeah.
And that's a beautiful thing. What advice would you give high school you?
Ooh. Just be you. Screw trying to fit in. Stop trying to be fake. Just be real, and the right people will show up. Which I very much so have done that, but in high school I tried a little too hard, I think.
Who doesn't?
Yeah. Trying to fit in. So
Right.
more confidence, more trust, and yeah.
Okay. More confidence and stuff. Yeah. What is a dream? What is a dream that you've yet to achieve?
Such a great question.
Bucket lists kind of question.
I feel like I am such a dreamer, and I definitely have the big things that I like to check off. So that's actually hard for me because, gratefully, I feel like I've done a lot of things. I don't know, there are business things, and then there are a couple of personal
It could be anything.
things.
Whatever stands out that you're like, this is something I want to achieve while I'm on this planet. I want to do this. This is a dream of mine.
I'd like to travel every continent.
Every content. Okay. How many have you hit so far?
I don't know. Not enough.
I know
But-
the only one I'm missing is, Australia is considered a continent, right? And then I haven't hit Australia, and I haven't hit Antarctica. Yeah.
Same.
I would do that. I would definitely hit it. For sure.
same trip.
Yes, yeah, basically. Yeah, so
Yeah.
There
So
should
that's
be
a bucket list.
Wrap up your 7-continent outsiders trip.
oof.
Ooh.
We've been talking a lot about, especially after this camping weekend, because feel blessed and fortunate enough to have had such a high demand and realize like the stuff I want to do and the way I want to do it is the way a lot of people would love to do things, and then it's not being offered enough. Or I haven't seen anyone offer the way I like my vision. So
What's your vision?
my vision is to bring people, I guess the kind of people I want to have around me, and do things that are like, we're an outdoor social club, right? But when we do international trips, it's, some outdoor adventures. We'll do some hikes, cycling, sailing, whatever it is, wherever we go. But it's also about cultural adventure as well. So exploring the local culture, the food, the art, the booze. I mean, every aspect of it, and hanging out with the locals, like not necessarily just doing the tourist thing, although you have to hit some tourist stuff. But like, I want to go where the locals go eat on Tuesday when they don't want to cook for themselves,
Right.
like that sort of thing. I've traveled a lot myself, so just implementing the way I've learned to travel and provide that for others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah.
Same?
Same. No, I feel like it's such a great thing when you love to travel, and it's such a added bonus to doing that. Like for retreats, it's not that it's easy, but it comes easily to help people feel comfortable, because sometimes travel can feel overwhelming, scary, hard, different culture.
And if you have the right
country.
partners in wherever you're traveling to that understand your vision, it makes it a whole lot easier.
Yeah.
And we should talk about some international travel. Actually, I have some ideas I want to speak to you about.
Yeah, that'd be great.
What is your most embarrassing moment?
In life or business or what?
Not in death. I mean, yeah. Life.
Oh gosh, I don't know. I got to think on this.
I mean, we've had people like fall down the stairs, or like, I don't know. Have you remember any off the top of your head, Bams?
Do you have any embarrassing moments of me?
I'm trying to remember Javi's because I think it was the funniest so far.
Javi's was funny, and I can't remember it, but yes.
Neither can I, and I just watched the video.
Oh yeah. Well, anything that stands out? If you say no, it's fine.
I mean, I'm sure there has to be. Kai?
I don't know.
All good. I actually have another question for you.
Okay.
And my question to you is, when you first met Kai, did you know he was the one?
I think so, yeah.
I asked people this question who my friends who are married. I'm like, when did you know? Like, I spoke to my brother. My brother told me when he met his wife, like he knew. Like she got pregnant fairly early in their relationship. But he was like, no, I knew she was the one. Yeah. So I ask people like, how did you know? Like, and you just know, but did you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I think every step of the way, I had a high, I don't know. I had a high expectation, I guess you can say.
Yeah.
And he passed me on with flying colors, and just situations that occurred, like when talking about moving in with one another, it just happened so organically, and it was too soon and too quick. But I was like, this feels right. And he's like, if it feels right, we should do it.
Done.
I was like, yes. Yeah, everything felt like it was meant to be. So for sure.
Okay. Well, I'm glad. He seems awesome. Kai, we're going to hang out.
Yeah.
I can't run very far, but we'll try.
He'll help me.
Perfect. What have I not asked you that you'd love to share with the audience? Something about yourself that you want to...
I'll share a fun fact, because sometimes I like to ask people similar questions.
Okay.
One of mine is always that I lived in the Virgin Islands. Another one is that I'm a twin.
I'm a twin too.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, boy or girl?
A girl.
Identical?
No.
Okay. I have a twin brother, but we're not identical either.
Are you similar at all?
I'm going to let Bams chime in here because he's good friends with my brother.
Nope, polar opposites.
That's how I
It's
feel.
literally night and day.
I always say as a whole, we complete each other because we're polar opposites. So whatever.
Yeah,
I don't have she.
He and I are very different. Like, he's an artist, but he does have a concrete thinking business side, but his artistic side is bigger. For me, I think my concrete thinking side is more prominent, but I do have a creative side as well. So it's complementary, like the yin and yang. You still see a little blacked out in the white and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
We do have similarities, but yeah, we're very different.
That's cool. I feel the same.
The last segment of this interview is a five rapid fire question segment.
Okay.
So you know how that works, obviously. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. Why are you nervous? It's 5 rapid
How
fire
fast
questions.
do I have to respond?
If you don't respond fast enough, you get the night hammer. No.
I saw that. I was a little scared.
If you don't respond fast enough, he just starts on. Come on, rapid fire.
Yeah. Thanks, spams.
Okay.
All right. You ready?
Yeah.
What's your favorite city other than New York City?
Can I say Bali? Does that count?
Well, it's not a city, but I guess, yeah.
Favorite place in the world?
Okay, Bali. What's your favorite book?
Shantram.
Okay.
You guys should all read it. Have you read it?
That's phenomenal.
Oh,
Okay.
it's phenomenal. I think that was like nuggets.
What's it about?
It's a guy who escaped an Australian jail, and it talks about his life in India. Where
What-
in India?
What got him in prison in the first place?
I don't know, but it talks about his journey through the slums, and it was incredible.
Okay. Well, you recommend that book, obviously. So
Yes, it's a very long book, and you got to get through the little bit of in the beginning. At first, it took a little bit, but then it was a page turner.
Okay.
By the time you finish it, it's life changing.
Life changing,
Really?
100%.
All right, so
I want to
will-
read it again, but it's just long.
I will definitely read that. I think you may have answered this question with your favorite city, but dream retreat location.
Bali.
Bali.
I haven't. 2022, COVID, go away.
Maybe we'll do an outsiders trip there, and you can lead the yoga portion.
I'm down.
We'll talk.
Yeah.
What's your vice?
What does that mean?
Your vice, like your weakness, your go-to. Like some people alcohol, some people drugs, some
Ice
people
cream.
Ice cream.
Yeah.
All right. That leads to my next question. What's your favorite food?
Are we gonna bring it out?
Yeah, we are gonna. We brought it here. What did you bring?
Ice
Did you
cream.
bring ice cream?
Dun, 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 dun.
So what did you get?
These are ice cream sandwiches.
First off, I want to say I like ice cream. I'm lactose intolerant, and I'm drinking beer. So this
My
is
husband is
interesting.
as well, so that's sad for him because I get all the ice cream. But these are ice cream sandwiches, and I'm so sorry you can't have this.
I can have some. I'm just gonna have the bubble guts. I don't mind.
Okay. And it's an ice cream sandwich, this one.
All
But
right, well-
typically, I like something with a little crunch, which these have chocolate chips. So.
Ooh, I have a weakness for chocolate chip cookies.
Okay, so let's see here.
Yeah, let me.
We
let me
got
pass
one for
over.
Chris as well.
Okay.
These are monsters. So, yeah, we could even
Oh,
split them in
wow.
half. Chris, would you like one? No, not right now. Okay. Well,
Jesus, what is this?
oh my
This is like
gosh.
a brick of ice cream.
I think
That
we need a
literally
knife.
looks like one of them bang cookies
Well,
with
no,
ice
we're
cream in
just
the
gonna
middle.
make a mess, and we're gonna try this right now. So why is this your favorite food?
I don't know. Maybe it's like something with growing up and like having it as a sweet treat. And then it's kind of just like a go-to when I feel like I need to, I don't know, have something that makes me feel comforted. This is it.
I feel comforted right now.
Okay.
Not later. Oh, this is gonna be a problem, but it's so good.
Very good.
We're gonna have to get through that second interview pretty quick then, huh?
Do a bathroom break right after this.
Wow.
Okay.
All right.
Good.
I want to thank you for being part of this series. Thank you for coming here and being interviewed. I appreciate you opening up and talking about your personal life. And we'll have to have you back sometime for sure.
Yeah. I appreciate you having me. Thank you so much. I look forward to more adventures with the Outsiders.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All
Cheers
right,
to
cool.
ice cream and
Cheers.
fat tire and water.
Exactly. Cheers. I'm hungry. We're out of here.